Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm the person behind Happy Puppy Truffles. Today I wanted to share with you guys the next in this series of Re-Ment Puchi Sampurushiri's, which is for high school, and it's meant to be sort of a nostalgic look at high school, and because of a few clues we know actually this is supposed to represent high school in about 15 years ago, but the items in it are actually still very accurate to today, so it's not even really that off for what most kids are even experiencing in school here. So today we're going to do number 4, and this is the cool one that includes the desk, yay, and the little chair. So classic, school desks. These are desks that are used from elementary school, middle school, high school, all the same kind of desks. These classic wooden desks. And this is, the theme for this is, studying for tests. So let me kind of show you guys what's in this. You get the chair, which is very cool, and it's all, pieced together and nice, and, doesn't come apart or anything. Very classic looking. These would be wood, very classic looking chair. The tricky thing is the desk. The desk is actually made of 2 parts, and it's not really stuck together. It doesn't snap together. It just lays nicely on top. So if it bugs you, you probably want to go ahead and put a little bit of glue so that you can make sure and guarantee this doesn't come apart when you're playing around with it and stuff. But if you get it lined up right, it's right. But that's a classic desk in Japan with the little area there for you to put stuff inside. And usually in elementary school, there's like a little drawer, sort of like Tupperware, thing that you stick in there that's the same size as this so that you can put all your supplies in there. So this is kind of how things look for that. And there's hooks on the sides here for you to put your bags on. You need to have a place for your bag, and for if you brush your teeth at school, you have like a cup and a toothbrush and stuff like that you'd put there. Lots of different things. Depending on the grade, if you're in elementary school, middle school, or high school, different kinds of stuff would be there. But that's the desk. And because this one has so much cool large stuff, there's not much in those ways of the small things. There's this little tiny lip stuff, which is like, chapstick basically, mentholatum, lip cream, and the colors are pretty accurate to what you'd see here. And, that's a common thing to have because you don't have chapped lips. That's not attractive. And then the other thing that's included is this little book here. And this is a Japanese book here. And it has some fun stuff, historical things included inside. And then all the stuff that's in green is meant to be in green because when you highlight over it, then you put a red piece of paper over it, then you can't actually read what's underneath it, and it's a good way to test yourself. So you take that away and keep moving it over it to see stuff. So a pretty common way to study here today in Japan. And even now, this is the same way people study. They do have some things now that, combine the use of technology with this, and I've shown you guys actually a review of that. But the sad thing was we got this, and the red piece actually snapped in half almost immediately after we got it. And that I don't normally see stuff breaking in this, and actually something else broke in this too, which was a little disappointing. Usually it's of a high enough quality that it doesn't break, and it's not like my daughter was being that hard on it at all. We were just holding it and it broke. So this was just taken from a real version of this, and I tried to cut it down to be about the right size, but it's still the edge is not quite exactly right, but close enough. So that is what you get with this particular number 4 here. And then there's the paper that explains everything to kind of look over it. And then on the back side is an actual test, which I think is so great. There's the questions here. This is obviously a math test, and then this over here is a kanji test, it looks like, or something like that. So lots of different fun things that you can cut out and use for stuff, and see kind of a look at what stuff is like here. And I have still a few more of this series to share with you guys, so look for those videos in the days to come. Thanks again always so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!